From the forbidden recesses of the human heart, to the unnatural occurrences which blight the earth and beyond, we now explore the terrifying truth behind actual events, uncovering mysteries more profound than any fiction. Join us now as we explore the sinister underbelly of real horrors. Ghost ships are not imagined, nor are they found only within the pages of fiction. They are real. Crewless ships found at sea have been spoken of and feared by sailors for centuries. Some believe them to be bad omens, carrying with them a contagious evil which curses all those who dare to come aboard, while others postulate more conventional yet equally tantalising explanations: mutiny, rogue waves drowning a crew in the depths, and even piracy, individuals hell-bent on stealing cargo, kidnapping or murdering all who stand in their way. Whichever explanation you prefer, let's now delve into 3 of the most compelling ghost ships ever found. Number 3. The schooner Jenny. This ship was discovered in 1840 after being trapped by ice in the Antarctic. 17 years previously, only one crew member remained, the captain. For those long years he sat, frozen by the wind, ice and snow, sitting in his chair, rigor mortis long having took hold. A pen sat motionless in his hand, and a letter was found nearby. It read, May 4th, 1823. No food for 71 days. I am the only one left alive. It would seem that the schooner Jenny and her crew were the victims of the crippling grip of the Antarctic. Found by a whaling ship nearly 2 decades later, we'll never know the exact events which took place. Conventional explanations maintain that the ice starved out the crew, with no hope of rescue in such a remote place. Yet some claim that the real story has been lost in time. The records of the schooner Jenny are hard to come by, and have been accused of being unsubstantiated, leading many to the conclusion that the entire event may not have happened. Others hypothesize that the ship never existed, while still more intriguing is that an earlier account of a ship called the Octavius, found in 1775, bears a striking resemblance to what befell the crew of the schooner Jenny. The truth is most likely lost, obscured by time, much like the crew of the schooner Jenny were obscured by the harsh Arctic ice. Number 2. The SS Ourang Medan. This ghost ship has perplexed investigators for over 60 years. In February of 1948, 2 American vessels picked up a distress signal from a Malaysian ship called the Ourang Medan. Cryptic and terrifying messages were then received in Morse code, allegedly from a crew member aboard the doomed ship. These messages read, SOS from Ourang Medan. We float. All officers, including the captain, dead in chart room and on the bridge. Probably whole of crew dead. Then 2 tragic words ended the communication, simply stating, I die. When the Ourang Medan was boarded, It seemed undamaged, yet the rescue ship made a grisly discovery. Strewn around the vessel were the dead bodies of her crew, most of them lying on their backs, looking up to the sky, horrid expressions of pain and terror frozen on their faces. What happened next remains just as great a mystery. While there were no visible signs of injury or struggle on the cadaverous crew, a fire quickly spread from one of the ship's cargo holds. The rescuing ship and her crew had to evacuate the area immediately. Not long after, the Ourang Medan was seen to explode in the distance, claimed finally by the sea. There are numerous theories about what happened to the ship. Some question its existence, claiming that the origins of the story are fictitious. There has also been the suggestion that the ship was involved in a covert smuggling operation, carrying dangerous chemicals or even nerve agents. In these circumstances, there was an accident and the dangerous chemicals were released, wiping out the entire crew. There is even the suggestion that this transportation was carried out under the orders of the US military, which explains why the story may have been buried. Perhaps the ship was deliberately destroyed. There are unsubstantiated claims that some of the crew were frozen in their last gasps for life, pointing at something unseen out there in the darkness. A perpetrator, perhaps? Or something with a more unearthly origin. Regardless, while there have been no sightings of the Ourang Medan since that night, the story of her crew and their demise sails onwards, remaining on the horizon of memory. Number 1. The Lyubov Orlova. Like something out of a pulp magazine, the Lyubov Orlova is a ghost ship which is said to be drifting in the North Sea and Atlantic Ocean. What's more, it is rumoured that this vessel is host to a grotesque swarm of large rats which, with nothing to eat, have resorted to cannibalism to survive. These stories have added to a growing fear among salvagers who believe that anyone who attempts to board the ship may be eaten alive. Built in 1976, the Lyubov Orlova was a Yugoslavian cruise ship designed with luxury in mind. Complete with an icebreaker, the vessel was used to transport rich tourists looking to experience the frozen conditions of the Arctic first-hand. Decommissioned in 2010, shortly afterwards in 2013, a small tug ship by the name of Charlene Hunt was given the difficult task of pulling the Lyubov Orlova across the sea to the Dominican Republic, where it would be sold for scrap. Just one day after leaving dock, the tow line snapped and the Orlova began drifting out to international waters. The vessel was deemed a risk to oil rigs and smaller ships, and so warnings were given for sailors to be vigilant. Rumours then began to persist that the vessel was infested with rats, something not unheard of on ships at sea, and that several individuals had unofficially attempted to board the old cruise liner unsuccessfully, being confronted by the hideous sight of a wriggling mass of aggressive rats, starved, hungry for any living soul who dared to set foot on their ship. Arguments continue about whether the Lyubov Orlova is indeed still out there. The ship did send out an automated distress signal, which has led some investigators to claim that the vessel has been lost. And yet, not all of the ship's lifeboat emergency beacons have been detected, which should happen when they touch water. In 2013, an object matching the relative size of the Lyubov Orlova was detected by radar off of the coast of Scotland. Perhaps she is still out there, drifting rudderless, peopleless, without aim, hiding in her belly a mass of hair-covered, gnawing rats just waiting for someone to board, or for the ship to crash against a coastline and to escape into a populated area. Thank you for listening. For more terrifying stories, urban legends, and real-life horrors, subscribe to the Ghastly Tales YouTube channel. Join us on Facebook at Ghastly Tales Presents, and stalk us on Twitter at ghastly_tales. Remember that all of our audio productions are available to download for free on iTunes. Just search for the Ghastly Tales Horror Show and we'll take care of the frights. Thank you, Ghasties, and good night, and unpleasant dreams.